I mean, I love weddings in general. I don't know if you're a big wedding fan. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I freaking love them. Indian weddings are the best.
This month, I have 5 Indian weddings to go to. I'm invited to 5 of them. And each one is 3 to 5 days long.
Yeah. No,
so people are like, dude, you're always partying. I'm like, no, dude, this is like what happens in my culture.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you literally look like you were always partying all the time.
You know what happened? The groom fiance said we can't go to a strip club.
Okay.
So then I was like, you want to throw money here? And he's like, you
were just looking for an excuse to throw money.
Yeah, well, it's in my culture. It's innate.
I was just going to ask you, is that an Indian tradition?
It's an Indian tradition.
So, I mean, fascinating culture. I want you to tell me on Long Island where I can get the best Indian food. I've been to 2 recent Indian weddings, which are awesome.
Where'd you go?
Like the full real deal 3-dayers.
Okay. All right.
So my buddy Amit, do you know Amit?
I met Amit. Yeah.
So love Amit. He's the man. So Amit had this crazy 3-day banger in New York City last summer.
Yeah, my parents are there.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 500-600 people one night, then 200. So you have the night where it's like very colorful.
Yes.
Where I wore the traditional garb, which was awesome. Let me tell you something. If you have never worn something like that, it is literally the most comfortable thing you can put on. Bro, I would live in that. Yeah. It is the most comfortable thing you could possibly put on. So that's one.
Yeah.
So we did that. That was a good time. Then he had the ceremony with the horse where you actually like get married during the day. And then the black tie event on the pier
reception,
the last night, which was crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, I love weddings in general. I don't know if you're a big wedding fan. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I freaking love them. Indian weddings are the best.
This month, I have 5 Indian weddings to go to. I'm invited to 5 of them. And each one is 3 to 5 days long.
Yeah. No,
so people are like, dude, you're always partying. I'm like, no, dude, this is like what happens in my culture.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you literally look like you were always partying all the time.
Yeah.
The only thing that you guys do, which bothers me a little bit, is that and it didn't happen with Amit's because his wife is Italian.
Yeah.
But the second Indian wedding I went to, this girl showed up 2.5 hours late. I was this close to walking out.
That's fair. So we're always late, right? In general,
Bro, 2.5 hours for your own wedding?
Well, I mean, see, my sister-in-law, she's a Russian Jew.
Okay.
So my brother just got married.
Okay.
So we had like the tightest schedule.
She was on time.
Wedding. She was on time.
She was early
every day.
She was early.
My family's like still like putting on our ties and stuff. They're like, we gotta do photos. If we can't do photos, we're done. I'm like, dude, this is an Indian wedding. We're supposed to be late. You know, like everything's behind schedule.
But 2.5 hours late?
That's fine. Wait, what was it? It was like a Sikh wedding?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
So it was, so I went to the first day, literally 2.5 hours late.
The bride side.
The bride was the bride was.
Well, sometimes
the bride and like her a very immediate family.
Yeah, so sometimes what happens is like if a party's thrown by the guy side,
okay,
technically girl side's like friends and family, they might be there, might not be there. So the bride makes a late entrance. Does that make sense?
Got it.
So it's like we're crashing your party type of a scenario. So that could be what was happening in your case scenario.
All right, thank you for clarifying. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like,
where's the bride?
Everybody was quiet. There was a point in time where I think everybody was like, where is this girl? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I thought she was running. Like I was having conversations with my friends. I'm like, this girl's not showing up. I'm like, she's a runner. Like, because the groom looked pissed. Like he was on the
stage.
Yeah, he's on the stage, like yelling. Like you could see he was pissed. I'm like, yo, this girl might not show up. I'm like, this might be the first wedding I ever go to where he literally stands up and he's like, hey guys, this ain't happening. She got cold feet. I paid for all this shit, or her father paid for all this shit. We might as well party.
Nah, that rarely ever happens. But yeah, I think sometimes it's part of it where you just show up late.
Okay. So the window of lateness is anywhere from what? An hour to 2.5 hours is acceptable?
Are you talking about IST? Are you talking about Indian Standard Time? Is that what you're talking about?
Indian Standard Time.
IST.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, but Indian Standard Time is basically like hour to 2 hours late on everything.
Hour to 2 hours late. Okay.
So like if you ever get invited to an Indian wedding, right, and it says 6:30, don't show up at 6:30 because the family's not going to show up till 7:30, and the guests are going to arrive between 8 and 8:30.
So let me ask you this question: does this work? If you want them to show up at a certain time, do you lie and set it earlier?
I just told my family that. I felt like when my brother was getting married, all the times were pushed back for the colored people, for the Indian people,
Got it.
like 15, 20 minutes ahead.
Smart.
Yeah, she's so smart.
Very
My
smart.
sister-in-law's so smart. Right? Like we were all like, oh my God, we're rushing there to get there. And we'd get there and like we'd be right on time.
And she just laughs at you?
No, she was like, you're late.
But does it get to the point where you know that she's pulling that shit, so you just go late anyway because you know she's trying to get you there early?
No, we didn't know that. This is.
But next time.
Next time, hopefully it's the only marriage they have, so we're fine.
So, off topic, on topic.
Yes.
I love Indian food.
Yes.
It's the best.
Great.
Where's your favorite spot so that I can go there?
So with me, I have a bunch of spots, right? Depends. Are you in New York City? You want on Long Island? Where you think?
Give me a Long Island one, and then give me a Boroughs.
Okay.
And boroughs could be anything. It could be Queens, it could be Brooklyn, it could be anything.
All right. So with me personally, Long Island, I used to love Lotus, but they caught fire. They're gonna open back up again.
Where's Lotus?
It was in Hicksville.
Okay.
It's gonna open back up again. My buddy's spot, Shimon. I really love Indo-Chinese. Have you ever had an Indo-Chinese?
No.
Dude, Indo-Chinese is the greatest Indian food.
Indo-Chinese?
Yes, it's Indian and Chinese mixed, like they had a freaking baby.
No shit.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
It's fire.
What is it? Lo mein with like
It's like spicy
lo mein?
chili chicken, Hakka noodles. So I really like Nanking. They have one in Melville. They have one in New Hyde Park, and Hakka. So those are my go-tos for Indo-Chinese. For traditional Indian on Long Island, I used to love Lotus. He's going to open back up. It's going to be fire again. I've been going to Kebabchis. It's like Pakistani. I don't know if you've ever been. They have these karais, the fire. It's also in Hicksville.
Okay.
Hicksville's like the food hub of Long Island. Right?
Yes.
And then New York City, if you want modern Indian, I love Indian accent.
Okay.
It's like taking Indian food to the next level, but great flavors, a little bit contemporary, or kebab and sharab. That's my like new go-to where I've been going for traditional Indian food.
Kebab and sharab. All right, I'm on
Kebabs and sharab, which basically
Kebabs
means
and sharab.
kebabs and liquor. So
Got it.
yeah,
Yeah, you guys are fun.
they're fun.
You get down. So let's talk a little bit about what you do, because I feel like you do everything.
Yes.
Like legit.
What do you mean?
Like broker, investor, trainer, teacher,
No.
dollar thrower, partier, like all of it.
Yeah, I mean, see, listen, that's the thing, right?
Like
So I learned from someone. They said, look, if you're gonna grow something and you want to grow it, don't go out and start new streams. Just take your existing stream and expand. I'll give you an example. So my father started real estate 20 years ago. Got into it about 7.
You got it. So what within real estate was he into 20 years ago? Like
He was just selling homes, right?
okay,
He was
he's an
selling.
agent,
He's a full-blown agent.
full blown agent. Got it.
And technically, that's what I was initially too. And then someone told us, "Hey, man, you should buy rental properties." And then we went and bought like 50 homes in Long Island.
Okay.
In like next 2 to 3 years, we sold like 1 or 2 homes that we had, and we just diversified and bought a bunch of them on Long Island.
Isn't that the best?
All single-family rentals.
Best thing ever.
Best thing ever.
Where, Nassau County?
Nassau and Suffolk.
How long ago did you buy them?
Literally like last 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But we bought everything within like 2 years.
Yeah.
So whatever making us kept dumping it. Because originally what happened was, I'll tell you. So my brother works on Wall Street. Now he's in Midtown. So he's like, dude, I'm starting a real hedge fund. I'm starting a real estate equity fund or whatever. I don't understand that stuff.
A REIT or a private equity fund?
No, private equity fund.
Got it.
And he's like, our goal is to acquire 200 doors on Long Island.
Okay.
So we want 8 cap properties.
Okay.
So anytime we would bring them an 8 cap property, it's like right after COVID, because interest rates were low, there was a lot of action. By the time they would go out and be like, this is a good deal, we want to buy it, the deal would sell. So then Raj, who's my dad, and his partner, they're like, dude, why, Jimmy? We're like, why don't we just buy these? These are great deals. So we bought all these value adds, and we're just like fixing them and renting them, fixing them, renting them.
Yeah.
So that's how like our rental portfolio got started.
So, couple things. A, are you still buying as aggressively now?
Yes,
Rentals?
I still buy. As long as
But
cash flows,
as
I'll buy.
aggressively.
Not as aggressively because
Because the
at
pricing
time,
ain't there.
Uh,
It's fucking expensive now, man.
it's expensive, but like, listen, what we originally at time we were getting DSCR loans at like 4.2%.
Yeah.
With like 10 to 15% LTV, so it was like a home run not to do it.
Yeah.
Now we're not buying as many. We're definitely a little bit more selective. Now I got a little bit more involved in the flipping game.
Okay.
It's kind of like your niche. I am doing 2 new builds right now. One in Dix Hills, which I just bought for fun. and then another one in East Meadow, which I've had for a couple of years now.
So go back to the rentals. What was the funding mechanism? So obviously you're getting DSCR loans. For people who don't know that, it's debt service coverage ratio. So it's like they have institutional lenders
Right.
who will lend you like a percentage of value versus the debt service coverage. What was it, like 1.25 at the time?
Cash flow. So it was basically if we put 10 to 15% down and the property was break even cash flowing, they would give us a loan. We had our own bank that we're working with, like out in Cali somewhere.
Oh, so they were doing DSCR loans of 1. It just had to be even.
It had to be even.
That's crazy.
It's absurd.
So for those of you who don't understand, it means they're willing to, whatever your net income is, they're willing to loan you that amount. So to break out your monthly payment. So if you're taking in $3,000 a month, they'll loan you X amount of dollars that breaks out to $3,000 a month, which is wild.
We had a good relationship that was built with them, dude. We're buying a home once a week.
It's just scary as hell, though. Like from your standpoint, because what happens if? I mean, listen, real estate usually always goes up, but there's sometimes where it goes down to then go up. At that particular time, as COVID hit, obviously it skyrocketed.
Yeah.
But if it went the other way, you're in trouble.
Well, not necessarily, right? Because you have to understand, we were buying these.
There's also no extra cash flow.
There's no extra cash flow, at least, well, for the most part. So they wanted to see a lease. You know how like sometimes units are split apart and you can get more. So
wait, you mean legally or illegally?
both. All right. Some are mother-daughters, which is not
That's
legal.
not legal.
Yeah. So whatever the case.
Are they cool with that?
Who, DSCRs?
Yeah. Do they want to see? They want to see a master lease on the
They
whole
want to see a
house,
master lease on
and
the
then you're
whole-
doing your thing, or you're actually just renting it to this guy for
And-
$5,000
and they
a month,
just-
but
they just
know
deal
what
with
he's
it.
going to do.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you keep is it like, are most of the tenants within the community, or it's just all over the place?
What do you mean?
Most of the tenants, are they Indian, or
No,
is
not
just
at
everybody?
all. Not at all. So that's one thing I learned. That if you're gonna rent to a blue collar person, someone who's a day laborer. It's super weird how we do our stuff. I don't look at credit scores. I don't look at. I like the vibe. You have the money. Let's shake hands. I rent to you.
How's your default rate?
Default rate turned a little bit high in the middle, but for the most part, it's pretty good because you have to realize like most of the people that are living there are working families. Something roof leak happens, they don't care, they'll fix it. A little bit of stuff here and there. So I think for the most part, we've been pretty good on that, knock on wood. And I think that's something that's kind of helped us, right? So, because think about it, right, dude, I rent to somebody who's like freaking Ivy League, he's making $1,000 and something very little happens. He's like, dude, can you fix this for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? So we kind of switched it up. We started renting to people that want to rent, that nobody else wants to rent to.
So where do you find them?
Facebook Marketplace, getting them.
How do you manage that fucking animal? Because I have a lot of rentals too.
Yes.
And my rental agent, so Amanda's my rental agent, and she like comes home at the end of the night looking at me like her eyes are, the amount of calls and texts and DMs and shit just off these rentals is insane.
Yeah, so that's one thing that was good because my dad's partner that came in with us, Jimmy, he already owned like 20, 30 of them. Then we bought another 50 with him. So it's like he kind of had his own system with like his own handyman and stuff that are managing it. Then we bought someone in-house that was answering all calls daily, doing accounting. And then now we have someone offshore. So if someone calls at odd times, it goes to them.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe I do that. Maybe I get a VA that just takes the intake calls, because it's the amount of calls that you get off these rentals is insane. Like she'll get like 40, 50 calls a day. You can't manage 40, 50 calls a day.
Absurd, yeah. So I think, and listen, that's the other thing, right? I mean, well, you have a lot more. If you're getting 40, 50 calls a day.
No, even if we have, so let's say, so I have like 130 something rental properties at this point, anywhere between single family and 10 unit across Long Island. But if we have like, 2 or 3, most of them are rented, but if we have like 2 or 3 active at one time, we still get like freaking.
Oh, you're talking about like calls to rent?
Yes. That's what I'm talking. I'm talking about intake calls.
Yeah, so those I don't take. So those I give to my agents. So like my newer agents, I'm like, hey, dude, look, go find me a tenant for this property. Go find me.
Okay, and they'll field all the calls. That's what I'm talking about.
No.
Do they ever come to you and they're like, Jesus Christ, the phone doesn't stop ringing?
Yes, but I'm like, dude, that's great because those are all leads. And
yes.
You're going to take the most qualified ones and you're going to go sell them a house.
So do you find that it's difficult to find an agent that is going to work those leads and get you the right person as quickly as possible?
Yeah, before you walked in, I was talking to your guys. They said, what could make your business better? I said, hungry people.
Yeah.
I want people that are hungry because...
It's crazy.
that's the issue here, man. A lot of people are happy making like 80, 90, 100, 200K. And it's like, dude, that's not enough to live on Long Island. At least maybe I live in La La Land, right? But I don't think it's enough if you want to like do some cool shit on Long Island.
So it depends if you have a family or not.
Yeah.
And it depends on what kind of life you want to live.
Correct.
You know, if you're a single person living at home, that's one thing. If you want to be married, have 2 kids, take a couple vacations, have cars, and you don't own your own business, you're paying like, you have no write-offs. I mean, you got to make 350 or better.
400K, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
easy.
even 400K, you're living.
Yeah, it used to be like 250.
Yeah.
Now, because you got to figure with 400, you're paying like 40% of that taxes.
Correct, yeah.
Easy.
Wow.
And then like kids are freaking expensive, man.
And that's one of the things I'm doing with my buddies right now is like a lot of my buddies are tech bros in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of helping them invest into real estate where I'm going in, I'm managing projects and running stuff for them and sourcing the deal just because they want some sort of supplemental income rather than sitting on millions and millions of dollars in their bank account.
So why don't you... So are you taking their money in just as like passive investing and like from like a debt function and paying them every month?
No.
Or you're buying rental properties for them?
Yeah. So in a couple of them, I'll partner up with them on rental properties.
Okay.
And others, I just did a flip with one of them. And actually 2 of them, we did flipping. So they were like, we don't want to make the $1,000 a month or $500 a month on rental. I'm like, dude, asshole, you need it because you need to depreciate your income.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I'm like, you need it to depreciate your income.
So that you don't pay so many taxes.
Correct. So now I sell them all like 1 or 2 homes a year. That's how I do it. So that at least they have they're building a portfolio. And then now a couple of them were like, dude, I have all this money. Can you help me invest in real estate? I'm like, okay, buy this home for flipping. They're like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to flip a property.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So then if you want, I can help you. Right.
But how do you manage all that shit? Like, how do you manage a team, do your own deals, source deals, manage construction? Because let me tell you, I mean, we do a lot, so it's a little bit different on the construction side, but managing construction is an absolute fucking nightmare.
Well, I have currently the way we have it set up, we have 3 teams. And we kind of like trying to, so initially so I used to flip a long time ago, maybe 10, about like 8, 9, 10 years ago. And I stopped. I got completely out. And I'm like, yo, this is so annoying because like, number one, the hard money lender is taking all the freaking profit. So I still work with hard money. I still work with those guys. And I was like, end of the day, I make more commission selling freaking real estate home for, I'm making 30, 40 grand or even 10, 20 grand. It's a lot easier work compared to going in, doing all this flip stuff. So then now what we did is we kind of split it up into teams and we kind of a little bit like systemize the process where it's like, we know this is the bathroom tile. We know this is our vendor for the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I think like kind of how you do it with new builds, right? You know what the next steps are.
So it's funny. So I used to do 60, 70, 80, 100 plus like gut renovation flips. And then the towns got involved with all the permitting and it just got so crazy that they basically ruined it. Yeah. Right? No disrespect to the towns. You guys are doing your job. I'm not shit talking you because I've got myself in trouble in the past doing this.
Yeah.
But that really, really hurt that business. And it just doesn't make sense. It takes so long to do these things.
Yeah, and the net isn't that high at the end.
It's not. So for me, I kind of adjusted the model, but the what the hell did you say? There was a point. I was trying to land the plane here. There was a point that systematize. So what I used to do is, since I was ripping out mostly first time home buyer houses, we had 3 standard kind of like tile designs and kitchens, and that works if you're selling houses cheap because there are none of those houses around.
Correct.
But now that I realize like I don't want to do those anymore because the return's not there and there's too much risk and it's difficult with the permits and all the bullshit, we're kind of on the extremes. What I mean by that is it's even like wholesale or what I call a pump and dump, which is we're taking the property, it's back on the market in 2 weeks, we're doing little to no work and just putting it back on the market.
Got it.
There's that is very good. Or the other extreme, which is new construction. Mm-hmm. Now, in the new constructions, what I've learned is it's not enough for it to just be new. It has to like, hit people in a way that like gives them an orgasm.
Of course.
So we don't standardize the new construction houses. We have interior designers that create new designs, layouts, tile combos for every single one, which is a challenge because now you're always picking different things. If it's out of stock, but you want someone to walk in and have this like emotional reaction to the house.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that if you're standardizing shit.
So I'll tell you one thing. I saw one of your homes a couple of years back, and it was like a flip in maybe, I think, Deer Park or Weinraub or something.
Okay.
And
did we actually renovate it?
it was renovated.
Okay,
It was
yeah.
renovated. But the people, they walked in, and the husband liked it, but the wife was like, dude, there's no like feminine touch to the premises.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I think that's something where like my mom, who's kind of involved on that aspect of home interior design, staging and stuff like that. So that's where she plays a huge role in our business.
Makes
So
sense.
she's the one that's going out, picking tiles, picking color combinations.
Yeah.
And we don't, I mean, see, listen, I would say our usual flip is like a mid-level flip. It's not like a first-time home buyer flip. It's more like
What's the price
a
point?
800, 750,
Okay.
like that. Like beginning Nassau, but you know, it's like a little
But
bit
the crazy thing is like 700 at this point is almost
neutral.
like first time home buyer.
correct. Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
Like it's not like a small house, right? We're trying to go after a little bit bigger home.
Yeah.
Is what we're doing.
Listen, and you're right because I all the designs, like I didn't really ever design because A, I'm
Yeah.
colorblind, and B, I don't have taste
Same.
like that. I don't know what these people want. Like what I like and what other people like are two totally different
Yeah.
things. So we always had designers doing it. You're doing it the right way. The challenge for me, or what will happen to you if it's not happening already, is at scale.
At scale, that's a bit.
Everything becomes a challenge at scale.
And listen, this is why I'm doing this, right? Because with me and my team, we've been doing like $4 million in GCI, $4 to $5 million GCI for the last 4 years in a row, right?
Mhm.
I'm stuck at it, right? I'm stuck in the sense like, you know, it's a forever rotating corridor of agents and people coming.
This is
learning,
on the team level. you're
On the
talking.
team level,
Okay.
right?
How many people on the team?
About 13 to 14 OSAs, which are outside sales agents.
Got it.
And I have 7 on my back end. So you ask me how I manage, that's how I manage.
7 on the back end.
I
What
have
does that
7
mean?
people on my back end. So
Oh, okay. Not sales agents.
not sales. So
Okay.
their job is to like support,
Yeah.
where I'll have a customer service rep who's going to call all our listings every week, give them feedback. Then I have 2 VAs. I have one guy who's like Swiss Army knife, whatever I tell him to do, he'll do.
Yeah.
Then I also have 2 callers overseas. Then I have my head admin. Then I have someone who picks up the calls. So I have like a full-blown system.
Yeah.
So even though I'm here with you, I don't have to, basically I'll go a whole day without ever answering a phone call because that system's kind of automated. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So are you doing deals yourself really, or are you mostly sitting there helping the agents facilitate their own business?
So what I do is it's different because usually with most brokers leads, hey, I'll give you a lead, right?
You operate under a broker though.
I operate under a broker.
Got it. Yeah.
But the way we work is we actually give appointments. So that's my biggest difference. So what we do is we actually qualify the lead.
Okay.
We make sure they're pre-approved. And then we have our buyer's agent go in and close them to a buyer agency agreement, or a seller agent go in to do listings.
Okay.
So my main job is I'm a rainmaker.
Yep.
So my job is to bring deals into the table, off market, on market, and go close listings.
So you're doing lead gen.
I do lead gen.
Yeah. So that's your business. Your business is lead gen.
Lead
So-
gen, qualifying them, and then giving them out.
Yeah.
You know?
So how are you doing the lead gen? Like, what are the channels? How is it working? And how does it does it make financial sense? Because lead gen is expensive.
Correct. Yeah.
And now, so lead gen's expensive. You're passing it out to these agents. They have to be trained properly. They really have to convert. And then depending on what the split is, does it make sense?
Yes.
So take me through that.
So, I mean, end of the day, the whole business, the way it works is it's like every other business, 15 to 20% profitability. That's what the business kind of runs on. Training, that's always, so with me, I usually like to hire newer agents basically and try to teach them our way.
Oh, so you like to hire the newer agents.
Dude, I have freaking cab drivers that'll be selling 90 homes this year. Right? The dude used to Uber. I met him at my open house. I was like, I like you. I want you to come work with me. And he's like, yeah, but I'm at this other brokerage. I said, listen, I can guarantee you how many homes you sold last year. I'll double that, and if not more.
Yeah.
He came in with us, and I think the first year he did 21 homes. Next year he did 33. And then at 33, what ends up happening is that's basically if you're doing 10 to 12K a check minimum,
Yep.
they see, okay, I made 300K, you made, we made 300K, you made 150, I made 150. Give or take, that's our 50-50 is how we kind of run it. And
So you're on a 50-50 split with these guys.
give or take, yeah.
And then of the 50%, obviously you have all your administrative costs, ad spend, all that stuff.
Ad spend, back end, and yeah, all that.
Yeah.
And but basically, I'm on a 50-50 split too, which a lot of agents don't believe me.
Which is smart because
Yes.
you shouldn't, like, you have to look at the business as, like, you're not
business.
special.
Correct. Yeah.
If the business doesn't function as a business, it shouldn't exist.
Correct. So I'm on the same exact split as my OSAs, but what's different about us is we charge more on the listing side and we charge more on the buyer side. So I have a closing today at 3 p.m. I'm collecting 4.5%.
Okay.
The buyer's agent's collecting 1.5%.
Oh, so it's 6 altogether.
6
Okay.
is so yeah. So like, listen, it's 6. It's whatever it is. So our average is higher on the team than an average agent.
No, that makes sense.
So yeah.
So let me ask you this, because I'm with you. Like, I was speaking at a real estate office yesterday, and I said to them, I was like, first of all, everybody in here should be getting 5 and 6% listings.
Yeah.
It's like, there's 2 reasons why you don't get it. 80% of the reason why you don't get it is because it's in your freaking mind that you can't ask for it. The other 20% is that, like, you don't have any value proposition, man.
There's not from value, yeah.
Yeah, you walk in and you're like, and they're like, "What's special about you?" And you're like, I have a team that would, like, bro, that's fuck, that doesn't
Bro,
work.
everyone has a freaking team.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
So what are your agents' value propositions when they walk in to be able to command this level of commission?
So basically, number one, we have a database, right?
Okay.
We have about 52,000 buyers in our database. And then we have an algorithm system where with one click, I can go through and it'll tell me who is our target audience for that house. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, what we have is, I'm sure you've heard, your home sold guaranteed or we'll buy it. So that's another value proposition that we bring to our sellers, where we actually allow trade-ins on our listing. Same way you can trade in a car at a dealership.
You trade in the house?
I trade in houses.
What does that even mean?
I buy houses.
Yeah,
Same way you buy houses.
but what if the number doesn't make sense?
It's up to them.
What do you mean?
They take it or not.
Ah, interesting.
But they give me the listing. So
Yeah.
that's another one. We also give our sellers and buyers warranty on the homes. We'll warranty their homes for 13 months. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. We'll do all that.
Through one of those outside.
Yeah, we have our team, weekly communication.
You actually do that as the broker, though?
What?
The
warranty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it
How much is the warranty?
$500-600. That's my cost of doing business. Like do an average broker. How much do they spend on a listing? The number's not high.
No, they don't.
Yeah, the dudes that are out there charging 3-4%.
Is the agent the one that's upfronting that cost, or you're doing it? So that's why you're down. That's why you're in that 15 to 20%.
Correct.
So for people that are out there, like, those are tight margins. You're working off tight margins. So you got to, like, really do volume.
We have to do volume. I don't have an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of got into flipping, because it's like, dude, if I want to increase $1 million bottom line net, what's the easiest way to do it? I could go sell out another 100 homes, or I could go work with builders, work with developers, and do maybe 1 or 2 of my own flips, or just help people grow their wealth using real estate.
Yeah. Because because the market, the market's only so big. There's a cap. You could go into the boroughs and start expanding, but that's a high volume business.
It's a high volume business. And listen, and believe it or not, if I get thrown another 100, 200 homes, I have a team there that can settle it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So like, at least on the listing end, we're fully covered. On the buyer's agency, I do want to improve our talent.
So how are you bringing in the leads?
How do I bring in the leads? We do branded ads, unbranded ads, social media. We buy a couple of leads, but those have gotten more and more expensive over the years.
Yeah.
We get a lot of generic business too. Like, we have over 1,000 5-star reviews on between Google and Zillow. We have a huge referral database. We've sold over 1,300 homes in a lifetime. So, we have that database and the community.
Oh, because your dad has also been doing this for 20 years.
20 years. But listen, we didn't start this whole shit until like last 6-7. Yeah. So till then, what happened was it was just day to day, and like he was selling 20, 30, 40, 50 homes a year, but we realized it's not scalable.
Yeah.
He ended up in the hospital twice and,
just because he worked himself
to it. And I'm like, that's good. I mean, making a bunch of money, but if you don't have your health, then what's the point? So like, technically now he hasn't really worked. Like his face is everywhere, but he hasn't really went and signed a listing in 4 years. He hadn't showed buyer a home in 4 years.
Wow.
So that's the beauty of it, right? Building a team system.
I mean, listen, I give him a lot of credit for coming over here, starting that, and then taking it to the level. And I give you a lot of credit for modernizing it and then bringing it to another level with technology and SOPs and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, we're in part of a rebrand right now. My younger brother's in marketing, so I would say he played a huge part initially in kind of helping us set this up. And listen, you have to be around people that are better than you. So I had my coaches, I had people as part of like a top 40 mastermind in the country, and I probably didn't belong there when we signed up and paid $100K a year to be in it, but it helped, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I've been a part of many masterminds.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of private coaching. I actually need to do more of it. Like I always need to kind of keep myself engaged in it, because every time you do something like that, you learn something.
Yeah, and that's what like people are like, you're always traveling, you're always doing this. I said, listen, for me, that's part of my investment.
Yeah.
Once a month, I travel to any random conference, right? And I'll go reconnect with people. I'll go meet people. Like I just went to one which was of wholesalers, right? And I'm like, dude, I don't understand any of this shit. So tell me where I need to begin, right? Like where I need to basically learn. And what they were like, oh, you need to go meet these people, meet the big dogs in the marketplace. And now we're here doing podcasts with the big dog.
You know, we got to call you, man, because we got a ton of wholesale stuff, man.
I know you do.
Ton.
I know you do.
How come you never called me before and said, yo, send me some deals?
I did call you. And
did you?
Put me out to somebody else.
Johnny?
Yeah. And
did he send you deals?
I called him twice and he called back.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, Johnny's upstairs. I got to go talk to him.
But I think one of your people do send deals to one of my team members thinking it's TRJ, but technically directly I'm not receiving them. So yeah, listen, equally my team is part of my extension.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, when like I probably know a little bit more investors.
Yeah.
So what we do is we pitch everything out to our investors.
What's your, talk to me about your training process with these people. Because I mean, there's good and bad with bringing in someone that doesn't know anything.
Correct.
If you bring in someone that doesn't know anything, they don't know anything, so you can mold them. But they also don't know shit. And they require a lot of attention, and they're not necessarily monetizing, and it's expensive to give them resources.
Correct. And I think that's something that a lot of newer agents don't realize. And listen, you have a company, you run it, so you understand it. With the newer agents, definitely a hand-holding process. The way we have it set is a 30, 60, 90.
Okay.
So where my goal is, in 30 days you have to watch these videos, in 60 days you have to go with this stuff, and 90 days you should have at least 1 to 2 under contract.
Okay.
So if you don't have under contract 1 to 2 in the first 90 days, then we're kind of, you know, tilly-tallying if this person, the right one for us. On the team, we like to aim for 2 a month. So if you're going to be on my team, it's high pressure, high volume. I think you should be able to sell 2, if not 1 a month.
You're also giving them appointments.
You know, appointments. I'm giving them open houses too. I'm running freaking 30, 40 open houses a weekend.
Yeah.
So like I'm putting you in front of the A1 leads.
Yeah. If you can't convert in those, so the average, your agent, how many appointments are you supplying for them on a weekly basis per agent, would you say?
It really differs, because I'll tell you why. Because the way my back office has been trained, if you're a good agent, you get rewarded. So the better agents get more appointments.
Yep.
But anywhere, you know, and
that's smart.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know the exact numbers, but our goal is usually to generate 3 to 4 appointments a day. So usually it's our number's 3. That's our KPI. You understand KPIs?
So 3, and that's 7 days a week or 5 days a week?
We used to be 5. Now we are 6 to 7.
But is it 3 per 7, so 21 or 15?
21. 20.
You have 14. So basically, like each person is getting like 1 to 2 appointments or 1 to 2 leads.
Yes.
And some of them cancel. They got to follow up, beat the hell out of them, whatever. But they're basically getting 1 to 2 opportunities of like warmish
batting opportunities, right? They get
per
to be
week,
on the line,
which is a lot.
That's
a big deal.
Yeah, and like, and I think that's where like me and Raj, we sometimes get a little frustrated. I'm like, dude. Like, and it's funny because like I stopped working with buyers. Mm-hmm. Then last year, one of my agents challenged me. It's like, hey man, you don't understand this market. You just stand here and you don't know how to work with buyers anymore. I'm like, dude, working with buyers is so easy. And then so this year I've been working with buyers too. I can't pick them.
It's more time consuming, but it's not fucking rocket science.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I would say on average, we try to aim that at least each agent should get about 4 to 5. But they also get open houses, man. Open houses are a freaking great lead source. So like, if you can't convert an open house, then I don't know, I can't help you.
Yeah, listen, if you have 14 agents and you're bringing in, the 3, 7 is 21, so each one gets 1 to 1.5 a week. If they're getting, like you said, 4 to 5 a month, and then they're working open houses and doing all these other things, it's like, bro, if you're not converting, then you should just find another line of work.
Yeah, that's what I do.
This isn't for you.
I promote them.
This isn't for you.
I promote them to go get better opportunities.
It's cool that you're bringing in buyer leads also.
Yeah.
And not just seller leads.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my main business is listing. So I list about 150 homes a year. 100 to 150 homes a year we sell.
That's a metric shit ton.
Yeah, I mean, we've just done that consistently.
Oh, as a team?
As a team.
Yeah, it's a lot.
As a team, it's a lot. But seller leads are also very expensive, but buyer leads are a lot cheaper.
Just from an ad spend perspective?
Ad spend perspective, yeah. I mean, I don't know what's your number for a lead. Do you have your number? Do you know your number?
It's what, cost per lead?
Cost per lead. Cost per appointment. You go and meeting them.
It all really depends. So let's say leads have been. So have your appointments been down in the last 3 months?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I like to have this conversation because really what happened was so in January was a little bit lower. Then it was this up to I think it was June we peaked, and then it's been a sliding scale. So
I was blaming my back office. I said, you're not doing enough marketing.
No. This week in particular, we're still converting. Last week I converted 4. Okay. So my KPI for this year is I want 4 deals a week. That's my goal. And it'll be a mix of wholesale, fix and flip, new construction, whatever. But I want 4 deals a week. That's my KPI. So this week right now, we only had 6 appointments. Whereas in the past, we've had 40 appointments, 50 appointments. But the interesting thing too also is sometimes more appointments isn't necessarily better.
Correct.
So it's crazy.
A quality lead.
So we've been consistently converting in that 3 to 4 every single week.
Yeah.
But, end of last year, our average number of appointments per week was 37.
That's a lot of appointments.
Whereas now it's 16. So, but we're still converting. As a matter of fact, we're converting better now than we were. But it's very strange. It's a weird freaking market.
Yeah, because you know what it is nowadays? The people that really want to move, those are the ones that are kind of calling you.
Yeah.
Where when it was going higher and higher, everyone's like, oh, I wonder what my house is worth now. I wonder if I get this number.
That's the thing.
What's your number one lead source right now, if you don't mind me asking?
So from a volume standpoint or a return on ad spend standpoint?
Both.
I would say cold calling.
Cold calling.
Cold calling, virtual cold calling is definitely the highest return on ad spend and the highest volume of leads. Okay. Now, the quality of the leads is not as good, but just the volume and everything just works.
See, we have different businesses. I mean, similar but different, right? Where most people hire me if they want as much money as possible. So we're doing a lot of branded ads. Hey, we get you this money. We get you as much as possible. We own the record by price per square foot in this area.
Yep.
So I think, and maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I've never cold called the lead in my life.
Well, I don't do it. I have VAs doing it.
Well, in business.
Yeah.
None of my OSAs cold call leads.
Do you have virtual cold callers?
Nope. I
Why?
don't. Should I add them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it all depends on your margins and everything, right? Yeah. So I don't know what your current cost per lead is, and
it's over $2,000 on the seller guide.
So
it's cost per conversion.
Okay, so per listing or closing, conversions.
Yeah, it's about $2,000, $2,200.
And what are the verticals that you're using?
Define verticals.
So direct mail,
we use
PPC.
Direct mail.
What are you doing?
We do all that, man. We do branded ads, unbranded ads, social media,
so
mailers.
What's your gross multiplier, your ROAS? So if you're spending, let's say on direct mail, if you're spending $10,000 a month, how much is the gross net commission to you?
I used to aim for 5x, but now it's not there.
You should most businesses fall into the 3 to 5. You really want to be in the 4 to 6. But if you're in 2,
no, we're closer to 3 now. But we used to be at 5.
Yeah, that's where it should be. That's the thing. With a business like yours, with all the support you have and all the margins, it's direct mail is tough.
So expensive.
Direct mail is tough for you. Direct mail works amazing. The conversion rate is small. Low. It's like the response rate is, let's say, 0.2%.
Correct.
And then let's say 25 to 50% of those people are like, fuck you, take me off your list. Yeah. And then, so for every 10,000 mailers in my business, you convert, let's say, one deal.
That's solid.
So if the margins make sense, like in New York, the cost per lead, cost per deal is way higher, but the margins are better.
Yeah.
So it balances out and works.
That makes sense.
But when you're talking about real estate commissions and brokerages and splits, direct mail is tough because it's fucking expensive.
So much more expensive.
It's really expensive.
Newspapers, I kind of got out of that. It's so expensive.
Cold calling, virtual cold calling, I highly recommend to you because for like $6 an hour per caller, and each caller can handle 10,000 numbers per month that you can rotate through, and they're on the dialer and they're just banging, and then they'll just push through to CRM, and I guess you can assign on a round robin or wherever you have it. Yeah. That in my opinion would be the best for you. Because you're talking about, let's say per person, it's like $1,200 a month. They will probably generate, in my opinion, on Long Island for you, 2 leads per day, 5 days a week.
That's very good.
So call it, 10.
2 leads a day is very good. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm telling, like, I know it. I'm telling you it's going to work. Yes. You're going to get 2 leads per day per cold caller. 5 days a week.
2 leads. Oh, 2 leads, not
2 leads. 2 leads per caller. So that's 10. So that's 10, 20. So you're gonna get 43 leads
a month
for $1,200, let's say, right? So hold on, because it's 4.3 weeks, right? So call it, let's say,
$50 a lead.
1,200 times 4.3 equals 51, 43. It's a little bit more. It's wait, what did I say? 43, 5,100. Divided by, was it?
You said 1,000 or 1,200.
Yeah, but I'm doing the month, so it's 4.3 weeks in a month. I'm doing it on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So that you're getting, what is it, 10, 20, 30, you're getting 43 divided by 43 equals, it's $118 a lead. Your PPL is probably $200 a lead, right? Mm-hmm. What's your, pay per lead?
Pay per lead? Okay.
Yeah.
Pay per leads, I don't know, my admin does it. She's amazing. She handles all that.
Do you know how much you were paying though?
For my admin? Or for...
No, for the pay per lead. Remember you said you were like buying existing leads?
I can get you that numbers. I don't. Listen, my job is I'm a team leader, right?
Yeah.
So my job is coach them, train them, bring in business for them. The back end, we have a leadership team. We meet once a week or once a month. Leadership we meet once a month, and then their job is that. But every morning we have a meeting at 9:45 with my back office. Where we review what we did the day before. Cool.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I think that would work really well for you because. What are you sending? Cards? What is it costing you? Like 60 cents to $1 per direct mail?
Yeah. I think it's less than that, isn't it? 60, 65 cents.
Now they just upped it. So the cheapest you're really getting is like 60 cents because they upped the postage.
Yeah, they print like 10,000 in a shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 10,000.
But think about it. If 10,000 in a shot, if you get one and that cost you $5,000, doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
The cold calling thing though would work for you.
All right, let's see. Let's try it.
Give it a shot.
I never cold called in my life. That's one of my pitches, right? To my agents, I'm like, I'll never want you to cold call a lead. We only work with warm leads. We only work with people that say, hey, I want to work with Team Raj Jaggi. Hey, I want to sell my house.
Yeah, no, listen, I get it.
I mean, it's a different business model, but yes, I mean, we'll definitely give it a shot. I'm always open to trying new things.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody else around the country is doing that, really?
What?
Doing the virtual cold calling for realtors?
I think people do it. I just don't do it. My thing is, listen, I want to do high value stuff. Right?
Bro, you're doing 150 houses a year. Don't fuck with it. It's working.
I know. We're doing about 300 and something units a year.
That's a lot.
370. We had 387, 383. Yeah, we sell about 200 plus homes a year. And then on both sides, we're over 300 deals.
Bro, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I know.
But
you can improve it.
Yes, you can. But also, you come to realize that there's a ceiling in your market for what you're doing.
Yeah.
To be able to sell, can your team sell 1,000 houses a year? I mean,
in Long Island?
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough. I mean,
I think it's tough in Long Island to do.
Last year, 23,000 houses were sold in Long Island.
Yeah. So I would have to take 5%.
You have to take 5% of everything sold with 14 agents. And there's 30,000 agents on Long Island.
It's tough.
It's tough.
That's why I said I can improve my bottom line doing other things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing other stuff into our business. I have a couple of Airbnbs. I have rental properties.
Yeah.
I'm helping my buddies flip. And then,
Listen, I give you a lot of credit, man. You're wildly successful at a very young age.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the hell was going on at 32. My head was in my ass. So God bless you for that.
I mean, dude, I was in medical school and like I kind of dropped out and I was like,
so much better off doing this.
This is not
bro.
what I want to do. I wasn't happy, right? Pre-med in Stony Brook, did major in economics, minor in chemistry, did pre-med, spent 2 years, worked in the ER, I was a physical therapist, I was a transporter. I did all that thing. And then I finally got into medical school and I was like, dude, this is not what I wanted in my life. Like I got here without studying, and then now I'm here. I hate studying, and you know what happened in between was, I tasted blood, I tasted real estate, I tasted how fun it was, how every day there's a new challenge. I'm helping people in different aspects.
Yep.
So even when I was in school, I was like thinking about deals. I was thinking about like, oh, this is a good deal, Dad, we should buy it, or hey, you should sell this one to this person. And then I just wasn't happy. I was in a happy place. And I just got up and left. So I went for a drive. I think it's about 7 years now, on August 4th. And I went for a drive. And I just came to New York from Tennessee. And I come home. My dad's like, you're home. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you're supposed to come home in the week after. I said, yeah, but I'm home. He's like, you're home? I was like, yeah. He's like, for good? I was like, I think so. And my mom's like throwing a fit. She's like, oh my God, you have no idea. You were in a U.S. medical school. So many people don't have an opportunity to do it. And you're going to throw it all away for real estate. And I think that's what kind of changed my mind. And then I met a couple of like big dogs in real estate all throughout the nation. And they're like, yo, your guy's business at a tipping point. And they're like, if you want to tip your business in this level, and you'll be set for life, in the sense like your future generations can get into this business. And he's like, why do you want to become a doctor? I said, I want to help people. They're like, is that the only way to help people? I was like, what? He's like, dude, you guys helped relocate almost 400 people last year. So we did 100 something homes that year, 96 or 114 homes that year. And he's like, your father alone, with his whatever team we had at the time, 2-3 agents, you guys helped relocate 400 families. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, what if you help relocate 1,000 people? I was like, that sounds pretty cool. He's like, all you do is sell 200 homes a year. But he's like, the way your business is sitting, he won't be able to take it there. So you have to drop whatever you're doing and do it. And he's like, as a physician, how many people could you help a day? It's like, I see 20, 25 patients a day. They're like, what if you could own a hospital? What if you could own an urgent care? What if you could do that to give back? I mean, it kind of makes sense. And then I kind of went all in. And even though I was on a leave of absence, I could have went back. One of my investors, and that day changed my life. And I always thank the guy. His name's Bobby. I sold him 7 homes. And for my team, he bought another 7. So about 14, Bobby calls me. Bobby's like, Rahul, I heard you're in town. I'm like, what's up? So I'm thinking of cashing out my portfolio. And it was like 32, 33 homes. And he's like, I know you guys can do it, and I'm willing to give you half those listings. I'm like, I appreciate that. So when can we meet? He's like, well, come meet me. I meet him. Bobby's like, dude, these are 30 listings. I'm going to give you half. I'm going to give the other half to your direct competitor, some guy that I trained. All right? Because he's like, they're also big in the marketplace. I have a relationship with them. I said, that's fine. I understand. But I said, Bobby, if I'm going to work, I want it all. And he's like, you can't take the best ones, but go tell me pricing for all of them because I trust you. So in one day, I went around 28, 30 homes. I got pricing for all of them. I met Bobby the next day. He's like, what are we doing? I said, I want all of them. And this is my plan, how I'm going to sell every single home that's occupied with tenants. And at that time, we came up with something called a Sunday tour for our open houses. And we were just, because most of his properties were like condensed in the same neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And we were doing 30-minute open houses. And I was moving buyers from A to B to C to D. And we just sold everything. And that was one day that changed my life because my
a lot of money,
earned commission on 30 homes, even 6 years ago, was more than I would have made as a physician 10 years now. So all my buddies that I went to school with are starting their first jobs next year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just, it's just crazy.
That's cool, man.
How you go from where and then yeah, I love what I do, man. I don't work a day. I party. I have fun. It's just amazing.
That was a good story.
Great. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I'm really happy that we got to connect. We've been like kind of talking back and forth for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But it's cool that we got to spend this time and really got to know each other.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully you could send me deals. I'm definitely going to send you deals.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you, man. What you've
Dude,
done at a
I
very
send
young
you
age.
deals. You're always like, it's too high.
When was the last time you sent me a deal?
I've sent you stuff.
It's been a long
Or my
time.
team members have.
Not for a while.
I was like, Charles doesn't buy at those prices.
Not for years. Yeah, no. No, I don't know how some of these guys do it. I got to tell you, I really don't. I don't understand how they. I'm like, look, I own the construction company. We own the permit company. We own everything. We own the kitchen cabinet company. I don't know how these guys do it. They have to be like bootlegging it.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes they get lucky and it goes for higher than I think. Okay, fine. But like,
I mean, that's what I bank on. So when I sell and I buy and I sell to my investors, I bank on I'm selling it for you. I bank on, hey, we're going to stage the home. We're going to do every single thing. We're going to sell for as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Because you have the number one team in Nassau County that's backing you up with the buyers. And what I do with my builders and developers is I actually go out and edit their plans for them. So because I know what
people want.
Yep. So I'll be like, builder, do this. Remove this door, move this wall. And I believe I sell a lot of pre-construction too. So
how are things on the new construction like in Hicksville? I've noticed that there's a lot of product on the market.
There's a lot of greed on the market too.
A lot of product on the market. Like everyone, there's a ton of houses in like the 1.3 to 1.6 range. Just
why?
Oversupply?
Nope. It's greed. Because what happens is a lot of these builders, some are hard money guys, others are like, dude, it's my own money. And they'll just be sitting there. They're like, I don't care. I'm not in the business to turn over quick.
So 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, full basement, and now you can't get the ceiling heights there anymore, which sucks.
Yeah.
Unfinished basement.
What's your lot size?
60 by 100, and you have that's also 1.3. Yeah. 3,500, 3,200 square feet. 1.3 is the number.
They'll get you 3,000 in Hicksville. Because Oyster Bay, you can build more than 29 and change. So that's the thing, right? So what's happening is the issues that are happening in Hicksville is a lot of these newer guys are coming in and they want to demand, I want to break his record. I want to break Charles' record. I want to break Greg's record. I want to break
I don't give a shit. I just want to make money.
Yeah. So a lot of these guys, it's like also like an ego play. I want to sell the most expensive house, or I want to do the most thing.
But bro,
so they're sitting. They're sitting.
But the numbers that some of these guys are playing, like I've sold houses in Hicksville to guys that are going to knock them down on lots that aren't that great. Fucking 600, 620, 650. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
But that's 80 by 100 or 100 by 100. That's what they're buying for.
No. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's also ethnic market. Ethnic markets appreciate more than regular markets.
Okay.
So it's like kind of like you buying in Flushing. That's what Hicksville's come.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then also obviously I don't know how guys are funding it. Like you said, a lot of guys are using their own money. If they're using their own money, that's a big savings. Yeah. If a lot of times also guys have people picked out already for the houses, so they don't have to pay commission. So there's a lot of money to be saved depending on how it operates. But very interesting. No. But listen, man, look at that camera. Look at that camera. Yeah. Anybody looking to buy, sell, or join a kick-ass team, because it sounds like you run an awesome operation. Yeah, we do. How do people get in touch with you? How do they contact you?
This is Rahul Jaggi with Team Raj Jaggi. Your home sold, guaranteed, or we'll buy it. If you want to sell your home for top dollar, reach out to us. If you want to buy a home that's off market and not on the market, reach out to us. We could definitely help you. And last case scenario, if you're an agent that's watching this podcast and you want to grow your business, you want to double it, and you want to take it and you want to really blow it up, come learn how I was able to build this team system, and let me build it out for you so that you don't make those mistakes that we've made all along the lines. So if you're an agent that's watching this, you want to join a team, a high-performing team with a lot of business, come join us. Give us a call at 516-996-3633. Again, the number is 516-996-3633 if you want to join a real estate team and you want to grow your business.
Bro, that was gangster.
Yeah.
You should make more videos.
You should be on TV.
Handsome home buyer. You have a house you want to sell? I don't care what it looks like. I want to buy it. 516-777. Sold. That's a wrap.